I hope I'm on straight. Yeah, I think I should be kind of straight, huh? Got to stop for the red light. Driving through Los Angeles, Hollywood area this afternoon. How's everybody doing? I wanted to talk about the comeback strategy, right? For those of us getting a little long in the tooth and still wanting to maintain the youthful appearance. Well, shaving the head is one way, right? Right? Shave those gray hairs right off, especially if you have a youthful face, and you can get away with shaving your head and your face and, stay nice and young and sharp. But I wanted to talk about the physical training aspect of peak performance. Because we always talk about neurofeedback and cranial electrotherapy stimulation and binaural beats and self-hypnosis and the gateway process. We always talk about all of these things of the head, of the mind. But I want to talk to you about physical, coming back to becoming a peak performer on the physical level as you get older. Okay, now, where do I begin? Well, I begin from the inside out, okay? If you're going to, first of all, you have to establish wellness, which means the absence of illness. You have to make sure that you're healthy and well and that you're not sick. So if you have any pathogens, it's 67 degrees outside, so there's no reason for me to keep the car open. Oh, that sun is nice and bright, isn't it? So, if you have any illnesses in your body, you should get rid of them. And one good way to get rid of the illnesses is fasting. I cannot begin to tell you the benefits of fasting. I've been spoiling myself on my fasts previously. Let me turn the AC back on here. I've been spoiling myself on my fasts because I take bentonite clay. Bentonite clay is a good remineralizer, which means to replenish the minerals in your body. A good remineralizer during times when you're fasting, when you're not eating. And diatomaceous earth is good. It helps give you the beautiful clear skin that you see here. Thank you. And wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is good. Now, you hear me coughing, scratching, coughing phlegm out of my throat. And that's only because I've returned to drinking a lot of milk. I like dairy in my diet, and that's a weakness of mine. I love milk. But but you want to take your training from the inside out, or at least that's been my experience, okay? This is a true confessions video. I'm telling you some things that are kind of intimate to me. And one is that I have had scoliosis in the early years of my life. And 28 degrees it was measured at one time in my thoracic spine with a compensatory curve in my lumbar spine. And that was found during a Flight 2 physical. Class 2 flight physical when I was in the United States Air Force. And I did my best to work around it. I didn't really address straightening it or the idea that it could be straightened because I wasn't aware of Pilates. I didn't know that Pilates had actually straightened his own scoliosis, and I didn't realize that it was possible. Most of the times when you see a person with scoliosis, there's not really much divergence with reference to the shape of the vertebrae themselves. There is a lot of wedging on the discs, and I'm no exception. Okay, I had herniated discs, I believe even ruptured, I'm not sure, but pinched discs, herniated discs, even to the point where I had sciatica really bad. The first couple of times I had sciatica, it was because I pinched my piriformis muscle, or I pulled my piriformis muscle on the hip adductor or the hip abductor exercises in the gym. But when I had the herniated disc in my lumbar spine, it caused some really bad sciatica. And if you've ever had sciatica, you understand that pain hurts. That pain hurts to your soul. It hurts to the depths of your soul. So what do? Well, what I did, I was fortunate enough to have had the Biometrics Health Center, and after closing it down, I brought home my inversion table, and I've been using it at home ever since. And I put in some real time. I hung upside down for about a half hour straight, and I also used traction. I have a cervical collar, and I attached 5-pound dumbbells to either side of my head. So I had 10 pounds of extra weight pulling down on my head as I hung upside down by the ankles on my inversion table. And I did that for over a half hour. I took slow breaths like yoga. I got into it like a yoga exercise. Taking slow breaths helps the time go by easier, and it helps you to really get into deliberately relaxing all of the muscles in your spine and stretching it out. Now that's part of the protocol that I'm talking about. You want to come back from the inside out. You want to train from the inside out. If you're like me, even if you are not like me, and if you've never had scoliosis, but you've reached your 50s and you've been bodybuilding all of your life, then you have been doing damage to your spine. You've been crushing those discs. Every time you lift weights, sitting up or sitting straight up or standing up, every time you lift weights, you're putting pressure on those discs. And I am no exception. And over years, this pressure eventually causes your discs to become wedged, slanted, pinched, or bulge out, which is herniated. They become herniated. And when it herniates and it pinches on your sciatic nerve, that sciatic nerve hurts. Believe me, it hurts your soul, okay? It hurts so deeply, and it goes all the way down to your foot, and there's really nothing you can do. And if you think, oh, well, this is just a pain in my leg, and I can exercise it out, well, trust me, it's just gonna hurt even more. So by hanging upside down with the extra 10 pounds hanging from my head, it finally popped. The ruptured disc finally popped, and the pain in the local area where the disc was herniated and then popped open, the pain was excruciating. Believe that. It was excruciating. Luckily, I had my son, who's now bigger than me, to help carry me off of my inversion table and onto the bed. And so that was only the beginning. That was the healing of that one herniated disc. I noticed in the process of inversion, of serious inversion, long time inversion, that I had other discs that were problematic, that were crushed, that were a bit herniated, that were definitely wedged. And I'd had an MRI a couple of years ago, and I was aware of the troublesome discs and everything in my spine. Now, being a bodybuilder, being that I still like to lift weights and that I still like to run, both of these activities tend to jar and impact and traumatize the spine. So, when you go hardcore, you have to take time to rejuvenate your spine. And that's part of coming back. That's part of my protocol. That's part of coming back from the inside, taking it from the inside out, training from the inside out, okay? Get into the habit of full inversion. Hang upside down on an inversion table, straight upside down. And if you can, add traction like I did. 10 pounds is enough. You don't want to add any more than that, even though the spine can take more. And correct your posture. Straighten your body and correct your posture. And make it a habit to do it at least twice a day and once before bed. You want to stretch and then go straight to bed so that the disc can heal while you're lying down and while they are in the extended position. What you're trying to do is allow time while the discs are in the extended position for them to develop scar tissue. And then you'll be finding it. But it takes a long time. It may take a couple of months. It may take you literally a couple of months to do this. Okay? So, heed my advice. Take your time. Do it right. And what I suggest, what my training regimen is now, I built up to a half mile, 30 laps, swimming in the pool. Why? Because you're not returning to lifting weights again. You're not returning to putting pressure onto the spine again. You're not, jolting the spine with running or sitting on the bicycle, which is even worse because every bump compresses all of your lumbar discs, down. And is swimming. You should swim, okay? So I swim every day, or at least every day that I can. My cardiovascular health is superb. My sleeping is great. As you can tell, my health is on top. My skin is looking good. My complexion is looking good. And I haven't started lifting weights again because I want to strengthen my muscles, especially the muscles surrounding my spine, whilst I am stretching myself using the inversion table. Pardon the mess here in the car, right? Of course, I've got my empty water jugs. I go through a lot of water. My son and I go through a lot of water. We drink a lot of water, so we train a lot. We work out a lot. So that's basically all I was saying. Now, the combination of inversion and swimming is not for everyone, but trust me, correcting your spine and strengthening your body, strengthening the muscles, especially the muscles surrounding the spine, while the spine is extended, erect, is a life changer. You're going to feel taller. I don't know if I actually am taller. I haven't stood up and measured myself again. But you're going to actually feel taller. And for those of us getting up in years, it helps you to fend off against the battle with gravity. It helps defend you in the battle that we all fight every day against gravity. Or at least we're using gravity against itself. But trust me, it works. And that is what I mean when I say making a comeback as a peak performer and starting from the inside out, training from the inside out, okay? The inside meaning the spine and the heart, the cardiovascular system, the lungs, and all of your blood vessels, okay? And the blood itself, because you want to increase your hemoglobin. Now, my son and I have just begun running between 6 to 12 miles every Saturday on the beach. And this Saturday it may be raining, so it might be a good day for us to sleep in, because the effects are cumulative. The exhaustion that happens that you know, from making that big distance of run. I've always made that run. I've made that run many times with Kai's mother, and before I even met Kai's mother. I think it's a 12.4 mile run if you make it completely. And of course, it's fat burn, it's cardio, you know, it's anti-aging, it's all of that good stuff, right? It's all of that good, beautiful stuff. When you're increasing your circulation and prioritizing your cardiovascular health. I mean, believe me, bodybuilding, yes, bodybuilding is essential, because you need to maintain your muscle mass as you get older. You need to maintain the mass of your body, on your muscles as you get older. However, muscle mass can also lead to high blood pressure if your cardiovascular system is not fit. And that is something that you should prioritize. So, you know, you want to make sure your blood pressure is low. High blood pressure can lead to diabetes. You know, they come together. The inflammatory nature of hypertension causes damage to your kidneys. You can end up with end-stage renal disease. You don't want to end up, you know, being on dialysis. So there are a lot of reasons to, you know, prioritize your cardiovascular system in your training or in your comeback. So that's really all I wanted to share with you guys. I know you guys expected me to get down and dirty with politics and stuff, and I'm not really down to do that right now. I'm just feeling the joy of my endorphin buzz from my 30-lap swim this morning. And so I wanted to share something with you guys on that tip with reference to my philosophy on coming back while I'm driving through downtown Los Angeles. Coming back, starting from the inside out. That's basically all I wanted to share with you guys. So once again, hit me up at info@devinlockett.tv if there's anything that you want me to discuss on my channel. I appreciate you joining me, and I'm going to be joining you guys later on, back when I get back to my studio. Take care. Have a great afternoon. Peace.